Have you ever noticed that some people walk into a room and instantly grab attention? They are not always the most intelligent. They are not always the most handsome either, yet people listen to them. People feel their presence. And some people, despite being highly talented, get lost in the crowd. Why? The difference is not just knowledge, the difference is communication. Because before people care about what you know, they first notice how you express yourself, your voice, your eyes, your confidence, your words. Together, they decide whether the world will ignore you or remember you. Maybe this has happened to you too. You knew all the answers in an interview, but your words got stuck. You had an idea in class, but you did not have the courage to raise your hand. You liked someone, but you never managed to express your feelings, and slowly, you convinced yourself, I am not a good speaker. But what is the truth? Communication is not a talent. It is a skill, and like every skill, it can be learned. In this audiobook, you will not just learn how to speak, you will learn how to connect with people emotionally, how to build confidence, how to create influence, and how to bring such power into your voice that it reaches not just people's minds, but directly their hearts. So put on your headphones. Remove distractions and ask yourself one question. If I genuinely became a powerful communicator, how much could my life change? Let's begin. The real power of communication. The most dangerous person in this world is not the one who has the most knowledge. The most dangerous person is the one who knows how to place their words into people's hearts and minds. Think about it. How many people in this world are less talented than you? Less intelligent than you? Yet still more successful than you? Why? Because they learned one skill. Communication. Communication is not just speaking. It is the power that turns strangers into followers, ideas into movements, and an ordinary person into an unforgettable one. Right now, there are thousands of thoughts inside you. Some dreams, some fears, some emotions. But the problem is this. If you cannot express them properly, the world will never know how much potential is hidden inside you. The reality is brutal. People cannot read your heart. People do not understand your intentions. They only judge what you show on the outside. Your voice, your confidence, your expression. These become your identity. An average person speaking confidently can make people believe them, but a genius speaking with fear often gets ignored. That is the harsh truth of the world. Look at careers. In offices, the hardest working person does not always move ahead. Many times, the promotion goes to the person who speaks confidently in meetings, who presents ideas clearly, who knows how to convince people. People don't promote silence, they promote visibility. The same thing happens in relationships. How many relationships break simply because people cannot express their feelings properly? Ego keeps growing, silence keeps increasing, and the connection slowly dies. Remember, people will forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Do your words make people feel confidence? Does your voice create trust? Does your presence make people feel important? Because in the end, communication is not just information transfer. Communication is energy transfer. And the day you master this skill, not only will your conversations change, your entire life will change. The science of communication, your CU. Life is not determined only by what you think. It is determined by how the world perceives you. And perception is not created only through words. The truth is that speaking is only a small part of communication. Everything else is your face, your body, language, your voice, your energy. These are the things people read. First, research shows that if your words say one thing but your body says another, people will trust your body language more than your words. Why? Because human beings detect emotions before they process words. That is why what matters first is not what you say, it is how you say it. And that is the science of communication. Body. Language. Imagine two people entering a room. The first person has slouched shoulders, eyes, looking down, hands in pockets. Insecurity. Written all over their face. The second person has a straight posture, a calm face, a slow walk, steady eye. Contact. Neither person has spoken a single word yet, but You have already decided who is confident. That is the power of body language. Your body starts speaking before your voice does. If you make yourself look small, the world will treat you as small. But when you stand confidently, respect begins to form even before you speak. And do you know the most brutal truth? Many people are ignored in life because their body language is silently saying, "Please judge me positively." And the world detects weakness instantly. So the next time you talk to someone, keep your shoulders straight, keep your head up, do not hide your hands, reduce unnecessary movements, use steady gestures, because confidence is created in the body first, then it becomes visible in the voice. Now let's talk about your voice. Some people can say the simplest things, and everyone starts listening carefully. And some people can say intelligent things. Yet people become bored. Where is the difference? Voice tone. Your voice is not just sound, it carries emotion, fear, certainty, confidence, desperation. All of it can be heard in your voice. If you speak too fast, people subconsciously feel that you are nervous, that you want approval, that you are not fully confident in your own words. And if you speak in a monotone voice, the same pitch, the same speed, your words start feeling emotionless. People cannot connect with you, but powerful communicators master one thing: pauses. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is control. When you pause after an important statement, the other person feels your words. Example: confidence is not born. It is built. Now listen to the impact. Did you feel the difference? That is the psychology of pauses. Remember, speaking fast is not intelligence. Clarity is real power, and clarity belongs to calm people. Eye contact. Now, let's come to the most powerful human connection: the eyes. Eyes can say what words never can. When you look into someone's eyes while speaking, you silently communicate three things: I am confident, I am honest, I am present. But the problem is that most people avoid eye contact. Why? Because there is fear inside them. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of exposure. But listen carefully. The person who cannot maintain eye contact often struggles to gain complete trust from others. Harsh? Yes, but true. Now this does not mean you should stare. Maintain natural eye contact. Look for a few seconds. Break naturally, then reconnect again. That balance creates trust. And remember one secret: when you genuinely look at someone with full presence, they do not just listen to your words. They begin to feel important. And human beings always return to places where they feel important. Now let's talk about the most underrated communication skill. Great communicators are not just great speakers. They are dangerous level listeners. Because they understand one thing: every human being has a silent desire. Someone should understand me. But in today's world, everyone wants to speak. Very few want to listen. People do not have conversations, they have competitions. The other person has not even finished their sentence, and people are already preparing their response. When you interrupt someone, you silently send the message: what you are saying is not that important. And at that exact moment, the connection begins to break. But when you genuinely listen, without judgment, without rushing, without ego, the other person starts opening up emotionally. Trust begins to form. Walls begin to fall. And remember, people always remember the person who genuinely listened to them, because in this noisy world, attention is the rarest gift. So next time, do not listen just to respond. Listen to understand. Because the highest level of communication is not speaking, it is understanding. Chapter 3. Common communication. Mistakes. Many people think their problem is a lack of confidence, but the truth is different. Their real problem is a lack of awareness, because every day, without realizing it, they repeat communication mistakes that slowly weaken their personality. And the most dangerous part? They do not even realize it. Mistake 1. Speaking too fast. Nervous people often speak very quickly. Why? Because there is fear inside them. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of awkward silence. They think, let me just get this over with quickly. But the reality is brutal. When you speak too fast, your words do not sound powerful. They sound desperate, and Desperation destroys respect. Powerful people do not rush. They speak with control. Their words do not run. They create impact. So next time, speak slowly, breathe, give your words space, and most importantly, do not fear silence. Weak people are uncomfortable with silence. Strong people control it. Mistake 2, lack of confidence. Some people surrender before they even begin a sentence. Their language secretly reveals insecurity. Maybe, I think, I don't know. I could be wrong. Now listen carefully. If you do not trust your own words, why should the world trust them? Weak language creates a weak image. So change your words. Instead of saying, I think, say, in my opinion. Instead of saying, maybe, say, it is possible. Small shifts, massive psychological impact. Confidence is not always loud, but clarity is always confident. Mistake 3, interrupting people. In today's world, people listen less and interrupt more. Why? Because everyone wants to prove, I am smarter. But remember, communication is not debate, it is connection. When you interrupt someone, they instantly become defensive. They feel that their words do not matter, and at that moment, trust starts decreasing. Powerful communicators do not dominate. They understand. Another common mistake is over-explaining. This is especially common among insecure people. They explain so much, they justify so much that their main point gets lost. Listen, not everything needs to be proven. Strong communicators are concise, fewer words, more clarity. Because a person who is confident does not need to defend every sentence, and perhaps this is the most brutal truth about communication. People do not judge only your words. They judge your energy. They judge your confidence. They judge your self-worth. So next time, before you speak, do not just think about your words. Ask yourself, is my communication increasing my value or secretly decreasing it? Chapter 4, Powerful Communication Techniques. In communication, the winner is not always the person who talks the most. The winner is the person who knows how to make people feel something. And that is the difference between average communicators and unforgettable communicators. Now let's talk about the techniques that can instantly make anyone's presence more powerful. The pause technique. First of all, pauses. Silence. The very thing nervous people fear is the thing powerful people use. When you speak continuously without stopping, your words become background noise. But when you pause after an important sentence, the other person is forced to think. Example: confidence is not born, it is built. Now feel that impact. Remember, a pause is not weakness, a pause is control, and the person who controls silence controls the conversation. 2. The storytelling. Method facts give people information. Stories give people emotion. You may forget all the points from a motivational speech, but a powerful story can stay in your memory for years. Why? Because human beings connect more through emotion than through logic. If you only share facts, people will listen, but if you tell a story, people will feel, and people remember what they feel. So next time, do not just give advice. Share an experience. Tell a story. The human brain is wired for stories. The mirror effect. Now, let's talk about a dangerous psychological technique, the mirror effect. People naturally like those who feel similar to them. If the other person is calm and you are overly excited, a disconnect is created. But if you subtly mirror their tone, their speed, and their energy, their subconscious mind starts feeling, this person understands me. But remember, do not copy, mirror. The difference is huge. The name repetition psychology. What is the sweetest word in the world for any person? Their own name. When you use someone's name during a conversation, an instant personal connection is created. Example: Rahul, your point is interesting. Now the other person no longer feels like part of a crowd. They feel seen. They feel important. And remember, people love people who make them feel valued. Active listening. Now let's talk about the most underrated influence skill, active listening. Many people focus only on speaking, but real power lies in listening. When someone is speaking, nod your head, give short responses, ask clarifying questions. These small actions silently communicate. I'm listening. I care. You matter. And honestly, most people in this world are hungry for attention. That is why the person who learns to genuinely listen naturally becomes influential. Because in the end, people do not remember the person who spoke the most. They remember the person who made them feel the most understood. Chapter 5. A special section for introverts. If you are an introvert, life has probably misunderstood you many times. People may have told you, "You are too quiet. Speak more openly. Why are you always silent?" And slowly, you started comparing yourself to people who were loud, funny, and always the center of attention. But understand one thing forever. Being loud is not the same as being powerful. Many of the most influential people in the world were naturally introverts. Why? Because introverts possess a rare quality: observation. While everyone else is busy talking, introverts are noticing. They are reading energy, understanding emotions, observing patterns. And that is what makes them deep communicators. You do not need to be the loudest person in the room. You only need one thing. When you speak, people should listen. Speak less, but speak with clarity. Speak slowly, but speak with certainty. Because calm energy is far more powerful than chaotic energy. And listen carefully. Silence is not weakness. The real weakness is holding yourself back because of fear, suppressing your voice because of fear. Many introverts have brilliant ideas, but they never speak, and the world never discovers how much potential was hidden inside them. That is the painful part. Remember, confidence does not mean speaking the most. Confidence means stopping the habit of running away from your own voice. Quiet confidence is rare, and rare things are always valuable. When a calm person speaks with confidence, people naturally listen. Because their energy is not desperate, it is grounded. So if you are an introvert, do not try to change who you are. Just learn how to turn your silence into a strength. Because the world does not need another loud person. The world needs people who speak less, but when they speak, their words go straight into the heart. Chapter 6. The 7-Day Communication Challenge. Knowledge does not change lives. Action does. You have already heard a lot about communication, confidence, body language, voice tone, listening. But now the real question is, will you practice? Because communication is not mastered through books. It is mastered in the real world. And that is why the next 7 days can change your life, if you genuinely follow this challenge. Day 1, mirror practice. Today, stand in front of a mirror for 5 minutes and speak about any topic. At first, it will feel awkward. You may struggle to look into your own eyes. You may judge your own voice. But that discomfort is the starting point of growth. Because for the first time, you will begin observing yourself. Day 2, eye contact challenge today. Maintain slightly better eye contact in every conversation. Do not stare. Simply show your presence. Because eye contact silently says, "I am confident enough to face you." And trust begins there. Day 3, slow down. Today, deliberately speak more slowly. Yes, intentionally. Do not let your words rush, because nervous people hide behind speed, but confident people stand behind clarity. Remember, speaking slowly is not weakness. It is control. Day 4, listen completely. Today, give one person your complete attention. Do not interrupt. Do not add your own story. Just listen. You will notice that people feel comfortable around those who genuinely listen, and that is a rare skill. Day 5, tell a story today. Tell a short story to a friend, colleague, or family member. It can be funny, it can be emotional, but tell it with feeling, because facts provide information. Stories create connection, and connection is the ultimate goal of communication. Day 6, record your voice. Today, record your voice and honestly listen to yourself. Observe, how is your speed? Does your tone sound confident or nervous? Is your speech clear or rushed? At first, you may feel uncomfortable. You may even cringe. But improvement always begins with awareness. A person who cannot observe themselves can never truly improve themselves. Day 7. Talk to a stranger. Now comes the final challenge. Start a small conversation with a stranger. Just one simple line. "Hi, how is your day going?" And your mind will probably say, "What is the need for this? What if it becomes awkward? What if they ignore me?" But listen carefully. Your new personality is waiting outside your old comfort zone. Growth is always hidden behind discomfort. And the day you start speaking despite fear, communication will stop being just a skill. It will become part of your identity. One day, your voice itself will become your identity. People will not just hear your words, they will feel your energy. But remember, great communicators are not born, they are built. Every awkward conversation, every nervous moment, every failed attempt is making you stronger. Maybe right now you feel that you are not confident, but confidence comes through action. First speak, then speak better, then speak powerfully. And one day you will notice that people are listening to you more, respecting you more, valuing you more. Because finally you stopped hiding your voice. So, from today onward, whenever you feel afraid to speak, tell yourself one thing: my voice matters. And perhaps this will be the moment from which your new personality begins. If this audiobook changed your way of thinking, make sure to share it with people who are still searching for their voice. Stay confident, stay powerful, and keep growing.